I'm back. Welcome to Paralopedia, your source for what is, isn't, and might be true about paranormal phenomenon. This is your place to balance science with faith, where we live in the great wasteland between closed-minded skeptics and mindless believers. I'm Jason, and today we're talking about Mel's Hole. I really hope you know this video is about a large, strange hole in the ground in Washington State, and not something else. If not, you're going to be very disappointed. Over the years, Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell had some pretty wild guests, with some pretty amazing stories to tell. One of the ones that fascinated me the most was about a man named Mel Waters, and the hole on this property in Washington State that I mentioned before. On February 21st, 1997, a man named Mel Waters called the Coast to Coast AM radio show, and he had quite the story to tell.
Tonight on Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell and his guest, Mel Waters, and a story of Mel's Hole, the bottomless pit in Washington State.
I've got Mel on the line. Mel is the guy with the never-ending hole.
Right now, I'm in a little town called Ellensburg.
Oh, I know Ellensburg. Oh, you really think you've got 80,000?
Yes, yeah. I get line in 5,000-yard spools. I've gone through that many. As usual, I brought the dogs with me. They wouldn't go anywhere near the damn thing, and if I try to bring them there on a leash, they'll just dig their feet in. They do not want to go anywhere near the hole.
The man claimed to have a 9-foot wide bottomless pit on his property. Mel said many people in his town knew about the hole and kept it to themselves for generations. He even said that Native Americans that lived on the land before Europeans came also knew of its existence. According to Mel, the people within this region used to come to this pit and dump all their unwanted items in it like tires and appliances. Shortly after Mel and his wife bought the property, they also started using the hole as a garbage dump. After a while, Mel started to wonder if the hole was bottomless, as he claimed to never hear anything hit the bottom. He also claimed that when he yelled into the hole, he couldn't hear an echo. Mel became fascinated with the hole, and he started to test to see how deep it was. He started testing the hole by dropping a weighted fishing line down the hole. According to Mel, no matter how much he used, he could never hit the bottom, and he estimated the hole to be at least 15 miles deep. After a while, Mel said he started to ask around about the hole. One hunter in the area supposedly told Mel that he threw his dead dog down the hole, and a couple of days later, he saw his dog running in the forest while he was out hunting.
The one guy claims that he threw his departed canine down into the hole.
Oh, really?
And he swears the dog actually came back to him. And he was
Really?
In 2002, Mel said things started to go bad. He said that after going public with information on Coast to Coast AM, government agents tried to seize the part of his land that had the hole. Mel said that 2 men dressed in black stopped him when he was going to the hole, claiming to be working for the government, and said that a plane had crashed on his property, and he wasn't allowed any further. Mel said he tried again to go to the hole, and was told by more men claiming to be government agents that if he continued, he would be arrested for having a meth lab on his property. Later, Mel said he was offered to lease his property to the government for $250,000 a month. There were a couple conditions, though. First, he had to move away from the United States, and second, the property would belong to the government. According to Mel, he accepted the offer and moved to Australia. He stayed in Australia for a while, became homesick, and then moved back to America. And this is basically where the story of Mel's Hole ends. What the skeptics say? Mel never produced any evidence of the hole's existence. No video, no pictures, no proof whatsoever. Many people have gone out to the area to look for the hole, and no one has found anything. Also, if the government wanted to get their hands on the land, I doubt they'd lease it. They'd either outright buy it using eminent domain laws, or they wouldn't. I doubt leasing it would be something they would do, much less just give it back to the person and cancel the lease if they showed back up one day. If they were using it or testing something there, they wouldn't care if he showed back up or not. They wouldn't be giving the land back to him. But hell, the government might do this a lot. Maybe they're leasing Area 51. Who knows? What the believers say. Many people that believe Mel will say the government covered this up, both literally and figuratively. Maybe they covered up the hole, and that's why nobody can find it. So what do you think? Let me know. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, you'd be awesome if you'd hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Remember, every time you subscribe and hit the bell, an alien will be unable to probe someone. Until next time, remember there's no reason to be normal when you could be paranormal. Take care.
Well, all right. Now to Eastern Washington. I guess this is Eastern Washington. Mel, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. When did you discover this hole?
Well, the hole has always been there. We've been out there for a couple of years now, and the hole has been there since we've been there. It's been there since the previous owner was there, and the previous owner there was quite elderly, and I'd say he was there for a good 30, 40 years before we moved in.
Wow.
And then
and so there's been a thing of throwing stuff down this hole for a long
time.
It's
been going on, for as long as the hole has been there, I assume. The people from around there throw all the stuff in the hole, and it's just been going on for a long time. Well, I got to thinking one day, how come this hole is not filling up? It must be an awfully deep hole. I used to be a professional shark fisherman, so I had a couple of huge fishing reels, went out there and started letting the line down. I figure after one...
Did you weight the line?
Oh, yeah. There's, in fact, the original line is still down there. I've just been adding to the line and keeping track of how much line I have used.